you guys want to end on a combo like this, make sure you guys stay tuned to the last part of the video to show you guys how to make this board. So to start off, we'll show you guys kind of the basics of the Memento cards. I'll start off with some of the spells, and then we'll go over the monsters in a second, and then I'll kind of teach you guys what the Fiendsmith cards that we are playing in the deck. So to start off with your monster or your spells here, we have the field spell, which we call Memento City in the deck. It's not called Memento City, it's Memento Sicilian. Whenever Memento monster is destroyed, you get to summon out another one from the graveyard. It's once per turn, and then during the end phase, you'll be able to set one of your spells or traps. Noticeably, we play Cranium Burst, Memento Fusion, and the Bone Party. You also can play the other one, Fracture Dance, if you want to. This also targets the level in the graveyard, which is important. So you can just summon out anything lower. It also targets the card that is destroyed, which is very important. Some people think it targets the card that you're going to be summoning back out. So they end up chaining it, and then they just don't get the effect. Cranium Burst is going to be your pseudo Appaloosa, being able to negate the monsters on the field and make it so they have to attack into your biggest Memento monster. It helps you protect your Caesars when you summon it in the defense position, because it does have a little bit of low defense, and then making them have to attack this just feels kind of definitely free. Mentilian Fusion is going to let you dodge. Both of these cards do dodge Veiler and Impermanent like Ease, and they summon. This one lets you shuffle back cards from your graveyard to fusion summon during either player's turn, as long as a Memento monster was or Memento card that was destroyed this turn. I guess it's a Memento. Whenever a monster card is destroyed this turn, I'm trying to say, by card effect, and then also lets you search as well by banishing itself. And then Bone Party lets you kind of dodge everything. It's like the emergency of the deck by summoning or adding to the hand, which is very cool. And it's also a quick play, so very nice. It also gives your guy piercing battle damage, but it never really comes up. And for your monsters, you have the main deck guy, the Creation King. This guy is absolutely insane. Whenever you activate a card or effect, your opponent activates a card effect. On resolution like Fenrir, you summon out one from the graveyard, non-targeting, or from your hand. Pretty crazy. You have Mace, which is going to be a Snatch Steal under this, and then also a Searcher by destroying. And then you have its counterpart wherever it's at. Where I'm trying to find it here. We have the Goblin. Goblin is going to be the counterpart. It makes it so that's non-targeting. All your Memento monsters are non-targeting while you control this guy during the turn they activate this. And then it also dumps to, it's going to be a normal summon, but you can also summon it out with Grand Breakout if you don't want to be playing those Fiendsmith cards. Then for the starters, we have the Angwitch, the Tachnu Shigu, and a Dark Blade here. These three are going to be your normal summons of the deck or your special summons out. These are going to be your main starters. Goblin is a worse starter, but all these cards you can do the same combo very nicely. And then for your extenders / other pieces, you have the Sleepy, the Gatic, the Alkion, which is the brand new card, and you also have a Twin Dragon. So these are going to be your 4 combo pieces, extenders, whatever you want to call them. Sleepy summons himself out from the hand if a monster was destroyed that turn, and then Confusion Summon. When it's also destroyed by battle or by card effect, it dumps one from the deck very nicely. Horn Dragon can summon himself out if you have 3 Memento monsters in your graveyard. You'll probably always have this, and then when it's destroyed, you can target 1 Memento card or Memento monster you control and 2 face-up cards on the field to destroy them. Very good against stun. Gatic, whenever it's into the graveyard by a Memento monster effect, you summon itself out. And then on summon, normal or special, very important to note, you get to add back any Memento card in your graveyard. It does target. And then Alkiron, this is going to be the newest mentioned Memento card, and this card is absolutely bonkers. The rest of them have all been crazy, but this card is going to be insane. So whenever it's destroyed, you can actually add back any Memento card in your graveyard or you're banished. So now anytime you get hit with DD Crow, it's not going to be as impactful. It also lets you be able to add both of these. So a lot of times you want to destroy this off of like a Bone Party, and then that you search off the fusion, so you get that search as well, adding back the fusion as well. So now like one fusion gets you fusion and Bone Party, while before it did not. And then whenever a Memento monster is destroyed on the field, you can actually summon this out from the graveyard, which is kind of crazy as an interruption. And then it makes your big guy, this one here, and then your fusion, not that one, this attack directly, which is really cool. So it helps you like be able to break boards by just being able to attack over stuff for game, which is really nicely. And then this also can summon himself out by shuffling back 5 from the graveyard, which is very cool. So that's it going for the main deck monsters and the spells. And now I'll show you guys the extra deck Memento monsters. We have just 2. We have the Centurion or the Creation King, as well as the Twin Dragon. This is going to be a consistency card by destroying a Memento in your hand or face-up field, searching for 2, and then when it's destroyed, you get to summon one back from the graveyard, level 6 or lower. And this one's going to be the Creation King. On summon, it dumps 3 from your extra deck or your deck to the graveyard, and it also can pop cards onto the field equal to amount of other Memento monsters you control. So if you target 5, you have Memento, say you have 5 Memento monsters on the field, you can target 5 cards, destroy them, and then you can just go backwards from there. They can also, as a third effect, in the graveyard, you can banish itself to search for the field spell, so just another interrupt, or a nice little addition search like effect. I wish it placed, but you know, beggars cannot be choosers. And then here for the other engine, I think we all know the Engraver. Engraver, as well as the Track and Lurie. I don't know where the Lurie is. It doesn't really matter. Lurie just summons itself out. It doesn't do very much. It's just your full combo. So Engraver is also a full card combo in this deck. So you have your, for your full card, for your 1 card combos, you have Goblin, this, and this. So you have also Darkblade. So all these cards, you play this at 3, you play this at 3, you play this at 3, you play this at 2 now, because this one obviously gets into that, and you play 1 Goblin. If you're not playing the Fiendsmith cards, you can definitely play the Grand Breakout, which is going to kind of replace. So you essentially always have access to 9, 10, 11, 12 plus starters. Very good in the deck if you guys have not figured that out. That's going to be kind of crazy. So the Engraver is a full card combo, as well as paired with any one of these gets you into a different combo, which is really cool. You know, stay at the end of the tune if you're able to see that one. That's going to be the big one. Then we have the Track and the Lurie alongside the Lacrima. So Lacrima actually lets you get into the Desiree, which before this deck could not get into. It also turns the Engraver into a 1-card Memento combo, which is important to note, just because you need to have another light in the graveyard for this to summon back out the copy of the Aerial Eater. So for our end boards of the Fiendsmith packages, it's just these two, very simple. You know, go for the Caesar when you want to protect your board from being hit with Nibiru. Nibiru can hurt this deck quite a bit, but you do have like Herald and SP, which can help you kind of end on that stuff. And then Desiree as well. If you open up the Engraver, you can hit on both of these, which is really cool. And you're just going to be able to just omni-negate cards. So you just have like a nice little powerful end board off this. And then for the other generic cards in your extra deck, we do play the Cross Sheep, this, and this. So Cross Sheep is really nice. It helps you in a lot of your combos with the Fiendsmith cards. It also gives you another form of, you know, summon out, bring us a body on the field, which is quite nice. And it allows you to have access to a Herald, which is going to be a spell and trap negate. It's really against Labyrinth and stuff like that, where this deck does sometimes struggle, or even against Tempai and those board breakers like Raigeki. Shit out Jason, always on my mind. But yeah, this is really good, especially like Darkblade can start popping your opponent's back row. But having a negate for this can be quite nice as well, especially if you're playing against like an unknown deck. You end on a Mirage, and they are like a trap deck. You have the Mace in the hand, so you're no longer in a Snatch Steal. You can just discard it off the Mirage to negate a trap. You know, very good against Evenly as well. And then SP Knight helps you also dodge the Nibirus. You can summon it early on your turn, and then when you summon out the big guy, you can just tag out, summon out SP, and then the big guy's going to come back with this, and your trap's still going to be online. So now that we know all the kind of end board pieces of Memento as well as the combo lines, let's dive into the combos. So for this combo, it's going to be the 1-card Tatsu Shigu combo. This lets you kind of play through a Bestial a little bit more than the other combos that we saw with the Witch and Darkblade. So we're going to start off by just special summoning it out. Activating the effects, we're going to be using Destroying itself, dumping the Gatic, the Mace, and the Goblin. So we are dumping this. Now we're going to activate the Gatic effect. They kind of can't Bestial you at this point. You're never going to really start off with just a Tatsu Shigu. You're going to have other cards in the hand as well, which is kind of important to note. So like they're going to kind of not want to always just hit this if you have like other lines or you have other cards. So you're going to activate the effect, summoning it out, then activate the Gatic, targeting the Goblin. They can Bestial you here. It's going to be a pretty good spot, but if you have the Fusion spell, it's going to be kind of difficult for them to kind of hit you, because you will have to be able to dodge, and then like you also would have other cards in hand like I mentioned earlier. So then we're going to add the Goblin back to the hand. We're going to normal summon with the Goblin, activating the effect, destroying it, dumping 2 cards. We're going to dump here the Alcuron as well as the Memento Fusion. This is going to be one of the newer cards as part of our newer combo here. It's going to make the Tatsu Shigu combo a lot better. It also lets you add back the Memento Fusion, so you can always now play only 2 of it, which is very nice if you're playing like Fiendsmith, you know. Before, you kind of felt bad if you banished the first one, not using it, and then had the second one. But you can always play around this now, and just being able to add back like 2 just feels absolutely just so nice. So here we're going to activate the Fusion effect, destroying the copy of Gatic. We can search for a Bone Party. Now before, you had to always search for the Memento Fusion if you want to kind of continue your plays. But now with Alcuron, you're actually going to be able to have both of them back. So now we're going to activate the Alcuron effect to summon itself out because a Memento was destroyed. And then we activate the Bone Party, destroying the Alcuron, summoning out from deck. So this we're going to be summoning it out in Darkblade because we don't have any other cards If we had a Dark Blade in hand, or we have whatever else, we would pretend maybe do something differently. But for this combo, we're going to do that. And then we're going to see the Alcaron effect and add back the Memento Fusion. So now we can activate the Dark Blade, destroying itself, summoning out the Angwitch here. And then Angwitch is going to be able to activate the effect, searching us for the Sleepy. So now we have Memento Fusion and Sleepy in the hand. This is like a really good spot, like for your opponents to like know what you have. If you have other cards, like you're adding already 2 cards to the hand, and you have pretty much used like your Bone Parties and almost all the other Memento monsters other than Witch. So here we're going to activate the Fusion effect, and we're going to be putting back. Normally, when you are activating Fusion, you're going to want to put back the Gatic, the Goblin, and the Mace almost at all times, because you want to be able to play through Bestials, and these like are your one-ofs. But in this case, we can't put the Gatic back because of the fact that we're going to be, doing it with the field spell here, and like we have to keep the Mace in the graveyard as well. So we're going to put the Goblin back, we're going to put the Dark Blade back, and we're going to put the Tachinushiku back, and then we're going to go up into the Big Fusion. This is going to activate the effect now, which is going to be able to dump. We're going to obviously dump one another copy of itself because we want the field spell. And then we're going to be also dumping the monster and the trap. If you want to play the other trap, you definitely can. You'll dump that instead. It makes no real difference. Here we're going to banish this to search for the field spell. We're going to play the field spell, and then we're going to activate the Angwitch, targeting the Mace, destroying it to summon itself out. Now in this case, if you didn't, or you had other plans to destroy cards, you are not. You would be able to put back the Gatic in the graveyard, but because we didn't, this is when we're going to activate the Memento City effect, letting you summon out the Gatic. This is going to give you access to your Fiendsmith lines without having to commit another normal summon or another special summon. So that's why we're going to do it this way. So we summon it out here, just targeting the Angwitch that was destroyed, summoning a lower level. We're going to then activate the effect of Mace, destroying itself, and you can really search for whatever you want here, whether it be the Fusion or the Bone Party. In this combo, we're going to go for Bone Party because we're going to get another use out of it. But if you didn't want to, you could definitely search for the Fusion. It kind of depends on how you want to play it. You can like shuffle this back if you want, if you search the Fusion out, which I'll mention to you guys, but just we'll see you there. So here we're going to have the Sleepy effect going to activate, summoning itself up, activating the effect of Fusion Summon. I'm going to go up into the Twin Dragon. Sorry, the thing died. I don't really know what happened there. So Twin Dragon is going to activate the effect, and it's going to be able to destroy itself to be able to search for 2. So you can search for a Horn Dragon here, which is going to be one of them. And then you can search really for whatever else that you want. In my build, I would search for a Sleepy. But if you want to, you can also search for a Dark Blade or an Angwitch. Kind of depends on what you want, or a Tachinushiku. So for us, we're going to search for a Sleepy, and I'll show you guys why, because I really like this card. And I kind of want to show you guys why I want to play 2 of it at all times. We're going to see Twin Dragon going to activate the effect now, being able to bring back out. It doesn't matter what monster we bring out at all in this case. We can just bring out the Gatic. And so now this is like a part where you can go up into a different combo if you want to. You can link these 2 away. I want to leave the Creation King on the field, so I'm going to special summon out the Horn Dragon. Then I'm going to link these 2 away for the Moon. Moon's going to activate the effect, go up into the Requiem. Requiem's going to activate the effect, going into the new Lacrima. This is going to allow us to have another light as well as the Engraver in the graveyard. If you started with Engraver, you're going to be able to skip over this step. It's going to be a different combo. But like I mentioned, you guys, this is the 1-card Tachinushiku. Activating the effect, dumping the Engraver here. And so like this is the case where you can just link away these 2 if you wanted to, or you can go Engraver effect, put back the Requiem, summon itself out. We're now going to link those 2 up for a sequence. And by doing that, using the Engraver effect, we're actually now going to allow us to go into an SP with this, which is very important. So, you still have those 3 lights in graveyard, which is why the Lacrima is going to be a really important card. Then we're going to activate the sequence effect, putting back all 3 to summon out the Desiree. So we still have our Sleepy and the Bone Party in the hand. We haven't summoned out any of our big level 5, or our big guy by shuffling back 5 yet. And we still have the sequence. So we're going to link these 2 away now for an SP. You can activate the effect if you want to, if there's any cards in the graveyard. Chances are there's not going to be. And you have so many cards that you can shuffle back here. So you have a very nice board, all off of 1 card. You can go sequence effect, obviously equipping the Desiree. That's a very important step. Having that monster negate, or the Omni negate there. And so like looking in your graveyard, you have so much. So you're going to be able to put back the Twin Dragon, the Sleepy, the Mace, the Gatic, alongside the Horn Dragon. I like putting that one back so we have the Angwitch in the graveyard that you can summon back out. Let's say, for example, if your Creation King gets hit, But I'll also mention here that if you did decide to add the fusion over the Bone Party, you definitely could put this back into the extra deck to let you summon it out during your opponent's turn once again. That's going to now summon out the Combined Creation. And then you can set the Bone Party here, and then you'll be able to set the Cranium Burst or the other trap during your opponent's or during your end phase here. So now looking at this board, we have an SP, we have a Creation King alongside the Cranium Burst, we have a Desiree, and then we also have the Bone Party, and then we have the Sleepy in the hand. So the real reason why I really love Sleepy is that you can actually go Bone Party at any time, destroying the Sleepy here. And that's going to allow you to summon out from the deck any one that you want. Depending on what you want to summon out, it obviously depends on what matchup you're going to do. I really like putting back the Twin Dragon, so I can summon him out in this spot. Because here you just summon out the Twin Dragon here, or the Horn Dragon, my bad. And then Sleepy's going to activate the effect because it was destroyed. And you can be able to send the Gatic. Gatic will now activate, bringing back out the Witch, which can then activate the effect, adding you the Mace from the deck. And now you have the Snatch Shield with this here. So like obviously your hand is very full. Actually, your field's very full. So you're not going to be always able to do like exactly that at that point. You know, you might want to have to bring out Creation King first, or you want to tag out with SP. There's different like versions that you can do. Obviously, if you don't want to bring out Horn Dragon, you could add the Mace to the hand directly, and then like do different lines depending on that as well. But Sleepy being able to destroy the Gatic is just absolutely so free in my opinion. I just absolutely love it. Like you don't have to do that immediately in your combo. So like you can have essentially like still the Sleepy and the Bone Party set here. I'll just say that. Activate Cranium or activate this, bring out the Creation King. Creation King is going to do its thing. This says destroy itself and another one of your opponent's monsters. Then they can trigger that in the field spell. You'll be able to summon out the the Witch from the graveyard, which can then activate, allowing you to add the whatever. Let's say you want to add the other Sleepy from your deck. So now you have two Sleepies. You go Bone Party, destroy the Sleepy that you had, and then you're going to be able to dump search for the Mace, dump the Gatic. Gatic to summon itself out. You know, whatever you really want to do, you have different lines to do it. I also forgot there's another zone there. I know that there's no zones for that here, so you would be able to do that as well, which is kind of cool. You know, being able to bring back out. Then you could pop all three, and then or pop just two, and then this will activate the effect, destroy the pop. So there's different lines you can do with that, obviously, and like you can see that like this is going to be a pretty unbeatable board unless they open up like something super crazy. There's different like layers of interaction with Bone Party and the Trap card. You know, making so you have the negates without actually using the monster effects as well. Reminds me a lot of Rika. Then you have, of course, the SP and the Desiree to back you up, you know, with an Omni-Negate type thing, and then the SP to tag out. So there's going to be a really big combo all off of one card. And now move on to the next one. So this is going to be the one-card Goblin combo. It has changed now that Akron is going to be in the game. I also mentioned this is also a Breakout, but the problem with Breakout, you are going to be playing like the Fiendsmith cards in this variant of the combo. I can show you guys it without the Fiendsmith stuff if you guys want to see that as well. Yeah, this combo here is going to be in Cloud and the Fiendsmith starts, so you're probably not going to be playing Breakout unless something gets hit, but nothing really is going to hit anytime soon. So we're going to start off with a normal summon of a Goblin, activating the effect, destroying itself, sending both of these. Once again, we're playing around the Bestial on the Gatic. Gatic will activate the effect, summoning itself out, activating the effect, adding the fusion to the hand. We're going to then activate the fusion. We're going to send the Gatic to the graveyard and put it back to the bottom of the deck. The Goblin to summon out a Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon will then activate the effect, destroying itself to be able to search. So here we're going to search for a Sleepy as well as an Alcuron. And the Twin Dragon is going to activate, bringing out the Gatic. What's really important is that they can't Bestial you on this Twin Dragon because then you control no monsters. So the Gatic will be able to summon itself out clearly. If we did have a monster on the field, our opponent could hit us there, and like if we had a Fiendsmith card, we'd end up losing the combo because we wouldn't be able to go with another Memento unless we had another one in hand. So it's just important to know about that. Here we're going to go Sleepy, summon itself out because we saw a card destroyed this turn. Then we're going to activate the effect, fusing all three away. That's going to allow us to go up into the Creation King. Creation King can activate the effect. And we're going to send here itself, the big guy, and a trap card. Again, whatever one you want to play. Ultimately up to you. We're then going to activate the fusion in the graveyard, being able to banish itself to destroy the create. Well, first we'll banish to search for the field spell. I was getting a little bit too ahead of myself. And then we're going to banish the spell to be able to destroy this and search for a bone party. So here we're going to have two different triggers. We're going to have the combined, or the city targeting the combined creation, as well as the Chiron summoning itself out. It doesn't necessarily matter what you summon out here, but we're summoning the sleepy, just because if it does get destroyed, you will be able to do it. Like if they try to find a way to destroy the Chiron, something like that, you will be able to trigger out the bone party and be able to destroy a sleepy and get you part of the other combo. We're going to see the bone party can activate, destroying the Chiron here, and that's going to let us summon out from the deck a Dark Blade. You can also go for the Angwitch, ultimately up to you. Chiron's going to activate the effect, adding back the bone party. You can add back the Memento Fusion if you already have one in hand, that you could have searched for the other one as well. But we want to add back the bone party because we're going to be able to use it during the follow-up turn, depending on the end board that we're going to choose. But I just think this card's going to be really good because you never have to shuffle back your fusion in the graveyard, and not in this combo. So adding back the bone party will allow you to play a little bit further. We're going to see the Dark Blade activate, destroying itself, summoning with the Angwitch. Then we're going to activate the Angwitch effect to search. So once again, I like searching for the second sleepy in this case, but you can also search for the Horn Dragon. So it's ultimately up to you which one you want to do. If you already have Horn Dragon in the hand, you'll search for the Mace at this point of the combo. But like you can choose which one you want to do. I'll show you guys the difference between both of them here. But yeah, so then we're going to be seeing the Angwitch going to destroy this, summon out the Gatic, and then Sleepy will be activated effect just to dump another name. You don't necessarily have to do this. We're just going to opt to do it because we don't have that many names in the graveyard. And you would dump either the Goblin or the Tachinoshigu. So I'm going to just dump a Goblin here. So at this point, we can link these two away. If you were not playing the Fiendsmith cards, you would just go up into an IP or an SP, whatever you want to. You can even go up into a cross sheep if you want to. But we're going to go up into the close. So we're going to link away this again for a Requiem. And then once we get in, we have the line where you can go either for the Lacrima or the Engraver. So if we go for Lacrima, we're going to be forced to set up a sequence into a Desiree line, or we can send out the Engraver to go for a Caesar. So we're going to go for the Caesar line because we already showed you the Desiree. We're going to then activate the effect of the Requiem to equip. We're going to go up into the Princess. Engraver is going to put back the Requiem, just so we can, if we go into another monster or we have another Fiendsmith card, we can go up into the cards again to go up into the sequence, summoning itself out. And then we're going to go into wherever our Caesar is. So now we have Caesar, Bone Party, and then one of these two, depending on which one you want. It's ultimately up to you. We're going to be putting back, we're going to put back the Gatic, the Goblin, the Twin Dragon, and we're going to do as well the Dark Blade and the Sleepy to bring out the combined creation. And then you're going to be able to pass turn on this. So you'll be able to activate the effect of Mentolian City, placing the trap card, which is important. So like this is going to be your end board. Now, if you opted to search for Horn Dragon, you're going to be able to summon itself out before you end turn, of course. And then Bone Party will have an interruption with the Horn Dragon, which is going to be really nice because you'll also be able to get the effect of the field spell to bring out either the copy of Angwitch or the Creation King after this. So, you know, you'll be able to go like with some really cool effects. Obviously, you want to have maybe something else to be able to target with the Horn Dragon here. So let's say our opponent does something, or we go effect, bring out the combined creation, or Creation King, whatever. So now we have brought this back out. And then we can go like effect, target, target, and then, or target, yeah. So you just go like target, two of them, whatever you really want to, or just one. And then your opponent's going to be popping one card on the field, and they go Horn Dragon, target, or you go Bone Party, chain, whatever you really want to. As long as the Horn Dragon gets destroyed, you can then target the Creation King, and then two other cards from the field destroy that. You're then going to get the Memento City effect. You're going to be able to bring this back out and this out. If you had another Memento card on the field, you could do that as well if you want to like destroy other cards. But we don't want to destroy the Creation King before it gets summoned back out. And with the Sleepy, what I really like is you can go like Bone Party, destroy Sleepy in the hand, and then you're going to be able to summon out your, or we're going to summon really or search whatever we want to. You know, we can search for the Mace wherever it's at. It shouldn't be in the graveyard. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Search for the Mace there. And then we'll also be able to activate the Sleepy. Sleepy will then be able to destroy the Gatic, and then Gatic will summon himself out and let you add back whatever you want. So you can add back the Fusion, you can add back the Bone Party, whatever you really want to. You can even add back the Sleepy in this case. So then you have the Sleepy effect to be able to destroy and search for 2 as well. But there's different lines you can do, and I really like to play the second Sleepy. But if you don't want to play it, you definitely don't have to. It's just with Bone Party and ending on a board like that can be quite nice. This can also be a Desiree, which I'll be, important to mention. Desiree does help you not lose to evenly matched. Evenly matched is going to be really good against this deck. There's different lines you can do, obviously, with evenly matched, being able to play with Bone Party. A lot of times you're going to want to keep just the field spell, because the field spell will be able to trigger, and like you just chain Bone Party, be able to destroy your cards, and then this is going to be able to bring out the Alcuron as well as this, and then this will be able to pop the Alcuron, getting the effect. And there's different variations you can do. But this card, as well as this, helps you play through evenly matched quite a bit, where if you just choose not to end on it, it can kind of be a problem. That's it for this combo. Move on to the next. This is the 1-card Engraver combo. You do have to play the Lacrima for this to be a 1-card combo now. You're going to activate the Engraver, searching for the track. Track's going to activate the effect, searching for Lurie, discarding the Lurie. Lurie will then summon himself out. We all know how this goes. We're going to go up into our Requiem, and then Requiem will activate its effects, triggering itself off, summoning the new Lacrima. Lacrima will then activate her effect, dumping another Engraver from the deck, which is important that you do, because you will be able to have to put them 2 back from the graveyard to summon back out the Aerial Eater, or else you can't do this combo. So then here we're going to be activating an Engraver, putting back, let's say, even the Lurie. It's not going to matter that much, summoning itself out. We're going to link these 2 away for our sequence. Then we're going to activate the sequence effect. We're going to put back these 2 because we want to leave the 2 Engravers in the graveyard. And that's going to summon out our copy of the Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater is going to activate the effect just like a new bell. It's going to be dumping a Fiend from the deck, which is going to be a Goblin. Goblin paired really well with this because we are going to be able to bring it back out. So now we're going to link these 2 away for a Cross Sheep. And because we have the 2 lights in the graveyard that are level 5 or higher, we can banish them both to summon out the Aerial Eater. Because a Fusion was summoned to the zone it points to, it's going to activate the effect, bring out the Goblin. So what's really important here is that you're going to have different lines you can do. You can go into an SP if you want to at this point, but I'll be showing you guys a bigger combo if you don't link up into SP immediately, because you still have the zones for it, and unfortunately SP does not point downwards. So we're going to activate the Goblin effect, which is going to be sending the Gatic as well as a Angwitch. Gatic will then activate the effect, summoning itself out, activating its effect to add back the Angwitch. So here again, like, you can link away if you want to into the SP. We're going to choose the normal summon of the Angwitch, activate its effects instead, and giving us the Sleepy. So now here we're going to activate the Sleepy, summoning itself out. Then we're going to fuse using both of those monsters there to bring out Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon will activate, destroying the Sleepy to allow us to search. We're going to search for the Alcuron and the Horn Dragon. Sleepy will then activate the effect, destroying itself to something the Fusion from the deck. Then Fusion can destroy to destroy, or just banish itself to destroy the Twin Dragon. Then searching for the Bone Party. We're then going to have the Twin Dragon effect to bring out the Sleepy. And then we're going to link these 2 away for our copy of the Mirage. So now we have a spell and trap gate on our opponent's turn when we have Mace in the hand. It's going to be really good against Tempai. It's going to get evenly matched in a bunch of the board breakers that are really good against you. You're going to get talents and stuff like that. All those powerful spells that we see in the game currently. Now we have a Bone Party, which can destroy the Alcuron. And then we're going to see the Mace being summoned. Alcuron will activate its effects, and then we can add back either the Bone Party or the Fusion. So in this case, we're going to add the Fusion back because we have not activated the effect, which is going to then shuffle back the cards to allow us to destroy. So we're going to add that there. We're going to then be able to activate the effect of Mace destroying itself to search for that second copy of Bone Party. So now we have access to both of those spells. We're going to be able to do quite a bit. So we're going to be activating the, or I guess we can just even special summon out the Horn Dragon. Then we can go up into our SP. So by doing this, it's going to allow our Creation King to essentially survive, and also allowing us to just be able to go, there's no reason to just leave these in hand or on field. So we're going to be able to have this be able to come back with the Creation King, which is very important. So now we can activate the Fusion, using, let's say, the Mace in this case, the Gatic, and then the Goblin, just because we want to always return these as soon as we can to the deck. And we're going to go out for the Creation King. Now, I know in this combo we have not used the Huron to summon it back out. That's going to be very important that we don't use it. So just make sure you don't do that. We're going to see the Creation King and activate sending itself. And then the Trap as well as the monster. We're then going to banish this to search for the field spell here. Play the field spell. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting back all those for our shiny big boy. And then during the end phase, we're going to set the Bone Party, of course. During the end phase, we're going to be seeing this can activate, setting itself. And we don't really have anything in the graveyard that's going to be that good to activate. And we don't have the Mirage yet. So during our opponent's standby or draw phase here, we're going to try to flip up the Cranium Burst. If they have nothing like that, we're going to activate the Bone Party, destroying the Creation King. Now, if you have any other Memento monster in the hand, like a Sleepy, you can destroy that as well, which is going to be important that you keep that on the field. But we're going to destroy this right away. Now we're going to be seeing Bone Party going to resolve, summon out the Witch, which will then activate the effect to add us the Mace. And like earlier in the combo, we could have also decided to summon out, instead of the Angwitch, we could have sent the Dark Blade as well to get one more name in the graveyard. I didn't mention that as well. So we could have kept the Akron in the grave, summoning it back out. But you just want to have essentially like the names in rotation, which is important there. So we're going to have this effect activate, adding the Mace. Then we can see during our opponent's turn, we're going to activate the effect of this. We are in our opponent's turn, bringing this out here. And then you have everything that you can. I guess in this case, we'd also have the Alcuron to summon itself out as well. So you probably would have done that, summon out the Dark Blade instead of the Angwitch. And then Alcuron will be on the field, but you can destroy it with the Creation King. And then get also a search or add back with that as well there. So like we have a really good board. We have the Mace, which is going to be able to negate this. When these two are destroyed, we can destroy them and special summon out the Mace. There's so many different things that we can do. You have either a Snatch Steal or the spell. Then you can also tag out if your opponent does anything else as well. There's just different variations like this card. This deck's just really nice to play. And like you see, the combos are just absolutely incredible. This is all off of one Engraver. Now, you're not really ending on any of the Fiendsmith packages, but that's going to allow you to get into the Memento package by sending the Goblin, which is really nice. It's going to be the big combo that I ended up showing you guys on a picture on the community tab. It's going to be using these two cards. You can also get that final end board with one other Memento card. It does not matter which one it is, as long as you just have one other Memento card in the hand, preferably a monster. You can also do it if you want to burn through your resources. We can show you guys that later. But yeah, we're going to be showing you guys a little bit of different combo that you can end on almost exactly that. But if you had that one other body, you'll be able to link it away into the SP. So we're going to start off with the Angwitch, which can be one of your best normal summons. You always want to normal summon with the Angwitch before you activate the Engraver, because when you're going to activate the effect, you're search for this Tachinusigu. And if you do control the Engraver or other Fiendsmith cards, Tachinusigu will not be able to activate its effect, summon itself out. Therefore, you want to do it in this order. So when you summon this out, you activate the effect, you're going to dump the Goblin, the Mace, and the Sleepy. And then we're going to see the Angwitch activating the effect, destroying itself to summon out the Goblin. Goblin activates its effects, destroying itself, to sending the Gatic alongside the Fusion. Then Gatic will activate the effect to bring out itself, and then activate the effect to add back the Fusion hand. So now you have Engraver plus Fusion. So it doesn't really look like very much, as long as you have 5 cards in the graveyard as well. But you are going to be playing through Nibiru this way, or I guess not. You won't play playing around Nibiru, you'll be playing through Nibiru, which is kind of important. No matter what, now your opponent knows you have Memento Fusion, which can bring you the big guy. So no matter what you do or what hand traps you get hit with, you're going to be able to end on the Fusion alongside the big guy, which is going to get you the trap and have the field spell as well in the field. So you have like a pop and a negate, which is really nice, but we're going to be able to play through that as well. But we're going to activate the Engraver. Engraver is now going to search us for the track. We're going to activate the track, having only the Fusion in hand, which is going to search you and discard the Lurie. Lurie will then activate, bringing itself out, and then you're going to be able to go up into your Requiem. Requiem will then be able to activate, bringing out the new Lacrima. Lacrima, this is also way in the graveyard. Lacrima will then activate the effect, and we're only going to do this one here because it's going to give us access to Desiree as well as the Caesar, which is really important. We're going to dump the copy of Engraver. So now we can go different lines. We can go Engraver, putting back the other Engraver if we want to. I tend to want to put back the Lurie most of the time because I want to have the Engravers in the graveyard just in case something goes bad. But we're going to be summoning with the Engraver there. Then we can activate the effect of the Requiem attaching itself to the Lacrima. Then we're going to go up into our Princess. So now we have 2 level 6s on the field as well as an Engraver still in the graveyard, which is very important for your combo. You cannot return Engraver unless you have another way to use it or discard it or wherever else you want. So here we're going to go up into a Caesar. This is kind of our last chance to nib unless they also have like Imperm Nib. And we now have a Caesar alongside the Memento Fusion in hand. So here we activate the Memento Fusion. We're then going to be able to use, we can put back from the graveyard our Goblin, our Mace, and I'll say the Sleepy here. It doesn't really matter, or not Sleepy, but the Detached Nishigo. It doesn't really matter which one you want to do. You just want to leave the Sleepy in the graveyard. It's going to be a lot more important that way. So you shuffle these back out, and then you summon out the big one. And now we're going to activate the effect. We're going to be sending this alongside the Combined Creation, and then it doesn't really matter which other one you send. We're going to here choose to send the one of the 3 that we sent earlier. You want to keep the Mace in the deck though, so we're going to send the Detached Nishigo. So here we're going to banish the Fusion to search for the Mentolian City. Place it on the field. I guess I should show you guys that it's there. And so like now our board's pretty nice as well. You know, we still have the able to play through stuff. We're going to activate the Fusion, banishing itself, destroying the Creation King on the field, and that's going to allow us to search for a Bone Party. We're now going to be able to activate the effect of the Mentolian City, being able to bring back out the copy of Sleepy, which is why you don't want to put it in the graveyard, or why you don't want to shuffle it back with the Memento Fusion. You want to be able to bring it back out off the Mentolian City. We're then going to activate the effect of Sleepy because it was summoned out. We're going to fuse these 2, and this is where if you had another card in the hand, another Memento monster, you could fuse using that instead. That's going to be an extra body. We're going to pretend that's just there. If you had the extra card, you know, you'll be able to leave the Sleepy or the Gaddock on the field. I would prefer to leave the Sleepy. So like we would just use these 2, keep the Sleepy on the field. But in this case, we're not going to. So that's where the combo kind of differentiates. If you do have that extra Memento card in the hand, we're going to go for the Twin Dragon. We're then going to activate the Twin Dragon effect, destroying itself to search for the Alcuron and the Horn Dragon. So, you know, a lot of times you want to have Bone Party plus Alcuron on the hand, and this is going to be a free extender. Twin Dragon is going to then activate the effect of bringing back out the Sleepy. This is so you can send another card to the graveyard. It doesn't have to be the Sleepy there, but we're going to be summoning out a Dark Blade off the Bone Party just to have a card in the graveyard, and this is going to be able to destroy, letting us have Mace. So, you know, just noticing you don't have to go for Sleepy. It just has to be one that you can pop. We're then going to go Bone Party, destroy the Alcuron, to summon out that Dark Blade like I mentioned earlier from the deck in defense position, because it has to be in defense position. And then we're going to see the Alcuron's going to activate the effect, adding us back the Fusion. Now, if you already had Fusion in the hand or you already had a Dark Blade, you can obviously add anything else. But we're going to be adding the Fusion in this case. But you can 100% add the Bone Party if you want. So we're going to add the Bone Party, leaving that Fusion going to be banished, I guess. We'll do the Fusion instead, because then we can just set back the trap. Or we can set back the spell instead of sending the trap to the graveyard, which is kind of important. So we add back the Fusion here. Dark Blade will now destroy the Sleepy to summon out our, not Goblin, but the Mace from the deck. And then you have these 2 in hand. We're going to see the Mace going to be or Sleepy is going to activate the effect first, and we can dump whatever else. Now we're going to dump the Goblin just so I have an additional name. And then the Acheron will summon itself out as well. Yeah, so now we can go Dark Blade. We can go Mace, destroy itself to search your deck. So we're going to search for the trap here just so we have it in rotation. And then you could just like really link away these 2 for the Heavens. Special summon out the Horn Dragon. You could also summon that out before, it doesn't really matter. Link those up into the sequence. Activate the sequence effect, and like now you have all these cards on the graveyard. You can put back the Lacrima, the Engraver, and the Requiem to go into your Desiree. And like this is where, if you would have that extra body, you would be able to link it away with the sequence for an SP, which is really important to note. And you know, a sequence will be able to attach itself to the Desiree in that combo, but in this case we do not. So we can just activate the effect, equipping it. Then we can put back. You have so many cards in the graveyard that if you really wanted to, you have like, let's look at the count, the Memento cards. You have a Horn Dragon, You have a Dark Blade, you have an Alkiron, you have a Mace, you have a Goblin, you have a Sleepy, you have a Twin Dragon, you have a Gatic, you have a Kram, yeah, whatever it's called. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can put back all of them and keep the fusion in the graveyard if you wanted to, just making sure you were actually don't have no doubles. So you're going to be kind of fine. You can do that if you want, you know, leaving all of them but this. So let's say we shuffle back 5. So 1, 2, 3. And I always say you want to shuffle back the ones first for the combined creation. And then you link these two away for that SP, wherever it's at. And then you equip it. And then you shuffle back. This is now on top of the graveyard. And then you shuffle back the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The summon itself out. And so now this is all that's left in your graveyard, which is kind of unfortunate. You shuffle back all these here. The 11 Memento cards from your deck. And then you have the Fusion and the Trap. And then during the end phase, you're going to be seeing Mentolian City going to be placing this onto the field. So this doesn't look like very much. But during your opponent's turn, whenever they activate effect, you can bring out the Creation King. I said this doesn't look like very much. There's only an SP Little Knight, a Desiree as an Omni-Gate, this and the Trap, a High King Caesar, you know, all these cards, like it just, you're able to do so much. You don't have that much Memento engine, but you have pretty much everything. So this is going to bring this out, and then when you activate the effect, target another card, destroy it. You can chain Bone Party, destroying this as well. And then that's going to be able to then let you summon from the deck the copy of Angwitch. Angwitch can then let you searching for that Sleepy. And then we're going to be able to go Sleepy effect, summon itself out, use these two to fusion summon into the Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon will then be activating the effect, destroying itself. And then we're going to be able to see the Twin Dragon going to be searching. You can search for really whatever you want. You can search for the Alkiron. You can search for the Mace. Twin Dragon's going to activate the effect, bringing itself back out. You know, going for the Sleepy. So if it gets destroyed, you can actually just send the you can send your copy of the Gatic to add back once again. Well, there's so many different areas like you can do here. You know, being able to do whatever really you want. Adding these two back is really nice because you can banish the fusion to search for the copy of Bone Party. Then you can activate the Bone Party, destroy the Alkiron, getting whatever you want back. Like your opponent's not going to be able to break this board, which is just absolutely insane. If they do try to go battle phase, they have to beat over into this. If they like evenly or whatever, lightning storm, whatever you want to say, they end up breaking this board somehow. You go Sleepy, gets destroyed. Sleepy can activate the effect, sending the Gatic. Gatic will then summon itself back as another body. Gatic will then activate the effect, adding back. You can add back the Bone Party even. And so now you have Bone Party, Alkiron, and Mace. You have a Snatch Steal. You have everything that you want here. It's like 1 interruption, 2 interruption, plus 5. So 7 interruption. 10, or I guess 9 interruption, 10 interruptions plus more, then whatever hand traps. And that was all off of 2 cards, I mind you. That's like the biggest YouTube combo that I can kind of show you guys. Just want to show you guys the power of the Memento Fiendsmith deck. Hope you've been watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, some more content like this, and to stay safe. Peace.